Hello and welcome to Your Government in Action, a presentation of Bahamas Information Services. I'm Carissa Williamson. Under the patronage of Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Philip Davis KC, the Ministry of National Security awarded the second cohort of graduates for the National Youth Guard. The graduation ceremony took place at Breezes Resort on May 3rd, 2024.
I've really been looking forward to this afternoon. An opportunity to come together to honor the newest graduates of our National Youth Guard. Congratulations to you all. And thank you. Thank you for stepping up to serve your country, our country. As I look out at the happy and proud faces of family members out there and friends who are here, celebrate with you, I know I'm not alone in feeling grateful and inspired by what you have accomplished. You have grown stronger during your training, and because of you, the Bahamas will be stronger too. As you well know, hurricane season begins in less than a month. Climate experts are predicting that record-breaking sea surface temperatures in the Atlantic Ocean could lead to an extremely active hurricane season. We have worked hard in our administration to build coalitions with other small island nations to urge the world's largest polluters to reduce the carbon emissions, which are warming our oceans and making hurricanes stronger. But even in the best case scenarios, even if all countries keep all the promises they have made to reduce emissions, that progress will take time to make a difference. The emissions that accumulated in Earth's atmosphere during the years the world's wealthiest nations were industrializing mean that some warming is inevitably built in. That is a sobering reality we all face. Indeed, in under 1 decade, we, the Bahamas, experienced 4 Category 4 and Category 5 storms, each of which caused terrible loss and devastation, and together cost us billions of dollars. I don't think any of us here have forgotten what it was like in the days during and after Hurricane Dorian. As one nation, we mourn the destruction, the tragedies, and the heartbreak of Dorian. Yet, even during our darkest hours, there were rays of light. We saw Bahamians from across our country mobilize to help in any way they could. Some used their own boats to rescue those stranded on rooftops. Some came together to organize food, water, and medical supplies. Thousands of Bahamians shared their homes with those who had lost theirs. The National Youth Guard was created to honor and elevate that spirit, to channel and coordinate the courage and generosity of our people, and to strengthen our nation's ability to respond during times of crisis. The successful completion of your training means you have gained important skills for your own careers while training to serve on the front lines during this new climate era. I'm grateful to Minister Mario Boleg and his team, who devoted many long hours to launching the National Youth Guard. I'm grateful to Minister Wayne Monroe, who skillfully helped the program transition to the Ministry of National Security, so that the deployment of our National Youth Guard can be coordinated with our security forces during national emergencies. The delivery unit in the Office of the Prime Minister has worked with great care and dedication to support the Youth Guard from the program's inception. Under the expert leadership of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, and notably under the stewardship of our first female RBDF captain, Sonia Miller, The National Youth Guard program is producing cadets of the highest caliber. Today, we celebrate the shining stars of Cohort 2, who hail from islands across our country, from Abaco, Andros, Eleuthera, and Cat Island. Inaga as well, as from New Providence and Grand Bahama. We hope to welcome Bahamians from all of our family islands in upcoming cohorts. I'm counting on all of you who are here today to be ambassadors for the new National Youth Guard program. I'm not just talking to the cadets, you know. I see some aunties and uncles and mothers and cousins and brothers here who I know can be persuasive. So help us spread the word in your communities that young Bahamians know that the National Youth Guard offers an opportunity to serve while they gain important expertise and job-ready skills. Indeed, 85% of the cadets from our first cohort found gainful employment with the skills and certifications they gained during the program. That's from the first cohort. The others are pursuing tertiary education at institutions such as BTVI, BAMSI, and UB, University of Bahamas, and navigating their career journeys. I know that those of you graduating today are going to make your families and your fellow citizens proud. The technical and leadership skills you have gained while you serve well, whether you choose to continue your studies, develop opportunities as entrepreneurs, or serve in our security forces. To tell the truth, I'm already looking forward to boasting about your achievements when I speak to the next cohort. I'm so proud of each and every one of you. I believe that we have no greater resource than the talents, energy, determination, and strength of our young people. You answered the call to serve. Help us turn hardship and challenge into shared national purpose, deepening our capacity and commitment to take care of one another.
During his contribution to the debate in the House of Assembly on April 29, 2024, Minister of Immigration, the Honorable Alfred Sayers, provided the benefits of a new digitization process being proposed through an amendment to the Immigration Act.
The Immigration Amendment Bill 2024 seeks to amend Section 36(1), subsection 1 of the Immigration Act by providing for the digitalization of the Immigration Declaration form. It represents not just a step forward, but a leap into the future in the management of our national borders. Mr. Deputy Speaker, the Immigration Act provides that all travelers who are not citizens or residents of the Bahamas must meet prescribed criteria at the border in order to be eligible to be granted leave to land in the Bahamas. Admittance is not automatic, and although a traveler might meet the prescribed criteria, extenuating circumstances and other factors may result in refusal of leave to land. Upon arriving in the islands of the Bahamas, non-residents are currently required to fill out and sign an immigration form known as a landing card. The landing card is a physical card or paper form pursuant to the Immigration General Regulations, 1969, Regulation 14, First Schedule, Form 12, which is provided to travelers while on board their flight to the Bahamas. This landing card is given to an immigration officer at a processing desk at the port of arrival. After processing, a portion of the card is given back to the visitor, who retains it until the time of their departure from the Bahamas, when that retained portion is given to the airline agent at the airline check-in counter. The Immigration Declaration Form, also known as the Immigration Arrival and Departure Card, or landing card, is a legal document used by immigration authorities to obtain information about incoming and outgoing passengers, and to inform ourselves of pertinent information to assist the immigration in its forward planning in border control, tourism development, and custom management. The current paper-based Immigration Declaration Form is a relic of an outdated system, burdened with inefficiencies, prone to errors, unnecessary delays for travelers, costly collection, scanning, and storage of the cards, and administrative backlogs for immigration authorities. Mr. Deputy Speaker, this bill will require all non-residents arriving in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to complete the Bahamas Digital Arrival Card. This online card will replace the current paper landing card. Exceptions will be given only to permanent residents of the Bahamas and those transiting the Bahamas without seeking immigration clearance. Non-residents will be required to complete the Bahamas Digital Arrival Card by providing particulars such, but not limited to, full name, place of birth, nationality, passport details, and arrival and departure dates. Mr. Deputy, the implementation of a digital immigration arrival card aims to achieve several objectives to enhance the visitor embarkation and disembarkation process. These objectives include reducing the level of effort required for form completion, thereby streamlining the process for travelers. Visitors will therefore experience a smoother, easier, and seamless process, which will enable them to reach their destination more quickly. Additionally, the implementation seeks to decrease processing time at the port of entry, ultimately improving wait times for arriving visitors. Furthermore, transitioning to a digital system will reduce storage costs associated with physical forms and will minimize expenses related to their distribution and collection from Family Island ports. Mr. Deputy, the digital system will also streamline scanning processes, thereby saving both time and cost. Moreover, the implementation will facilitate and improve the collection of data to enhance business and security intelligence, especially for the Ministry of Tourism, by providing access to live data through a visual and mobile accessible dashboard. By digitizing the arrival card process, the frequency of incomplete applications is expected to decrease, ensuring a more efficient and effective immigration process overall. Mr. Deputy, collaboration amongst the stakeholders, the Bahamas Immigration Department, the Ministry of Tourism, the Department of Transformation and Digitization, DTAD, the Department of Customs, and the Canadian banknote identified the necessity to streamline the visitor arrival process with the aim of minimizing expenses associated with the management of visitor arrivals. The implementation of a digital arrival card serves as a solution to this need by enabling both the Department of Immigration, Ministry of Tourism, and Customs Department to directly access and utilize the collected data from the border control process. Therefore, Mr. Deputy, moving to a digital platform will negate the redundant submission of information to various government entities such as immigration, customs, and tourism. To address these shortcomings and usher in a new era of efficiency, we are today embracing digital transformation, ensuring smoother processes and enhanced accuracy of data.
More of Your Government in Action when we return. Welcome back. The Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training, in conjunction with the Ministry of Finance, held a commissioning ceremony of the solar photovoltaic generation systems that were installed at C.V. Bethel High School, Doris Johnson High School, and T.G. Glover Primary School. The ceremony was held at the T.G. Glover Professional Development and Research School on May 2nd, 2024.
The observation was made that it was Hurricane Dorian and Joaquin that really precipitated an awareness of our reality and the issue of climate change, energy, carbon footprint, all of these issues. And truthfully, I think that these events are a wake-up call in a much larger way, because it tells us that we're not somewhere else. We are who we are. We live where we live. We love where we live. And that we have to do all that we can, first of all, to ensure that we have a level of sustainability in our reality. And more than that, that our people who live in this environment, who have evolved and developed and grown and progressed in our own reality, that is incumbent upon us, particularly as political leaders, but not just political leaders, because it includes all of our leaders, including our educators, everyone, for us to intentionally and purposefully create a mandate for ourselves, an architectural reality for ourselves, and I don't mean just buildings, I mean everything. How we do everything must reflect who we are and what we are. And for quite a while, we have not done that absolutely fully. We've sort of inherited external our realities, superimposed them on our own reality. And Dorian, which killed so many people and terrified and traumatized so many people, and then Joaquin in the southern islands, when I happened to have been Minister of Transport, when we discovered that our radar could not even cover the archipelago. It just covered a 150-mile radius, and it didn't cover that region, and so we weren't able, through our own radar system, to monitor the movement of that terrible hurricane. And coming out of that, we developed a network of radars from a huge investment, but that was us relating to our own reality. We are an archipelago. We have islands across the ocean, the seas, and this is what we had to do. So this wake-up call that the environment gave us, that the ravages of storms have awakened us to, has to have a broader, wider impact as to what we do as a people, And in education, I speak with the director often, we have a template, but we have to look without that template with real eyes so that these children, these young people, C.V. Bethel, Doris Johnson, T.G. Glover, and throughout the nation, that they are operating in a reality in which they have a relationship with what is happening around them, what needs to happen tomorrow, so that they are dynamic, awake young people. And so we've been talking about the curriculum. And I was saying to the director, this here today is an input in our curriculum, because this is teaching young people about green energy. It's teaching them about sustainability. It's teaching them about climate change. And it's teaching them about industry, because this is a new and developing industry in our country. And MOU was signed with BTVI, and we now have students going to BTVI who are learning in this sector, train the trainers. And you know, the question I asked myself, you know, I made a note while I was sitting there. You know, I think I forgot his name, the individual, the contractor, he said that this is a world-class example of what is happening here. But I asked myself, why we can't be world-class example in so many things? It's possible. Why can't the Bahamas take the lead? We have a unique reality, a unique experience, and this is an opportunity. It's off script, but it's an opportunity for us to pave new paths, break new ground for our young people. Yes. And so today is a very, very important day on so many levels. And I want to say to the young people listening, those in primary, those in junior high, and those in senior high, TG, Doris, and I think they're grade 10 students there that you brought from Doris. Yes, and C.V. Bethel. I want to say to them that in everything that they're doing in the classroom, in the history class, in the geography class, social studies, whatever you call it, in the science class, go with eyes that are inquiring and that is able to make the connect to their own experience and their own reality. Do not have these things fixed in some tomb that you are seeking to unearth. Lift up open the coffin on it and look at it and try memorize it. But utilize this exposure that allows you to open wide your consciousness, your critical thinking, and so that you are able to move forward as trailblazers in this nation.
The Midwives Association of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas celebrated the International Day of the Midwife with a conference under the theme, Midwives, a Vital Climate Solution. An opening ceremony was held at the Public Hospitals Authority corporate building on May 3rd, 2024, where Mrs. Anne-Marie Davis of the Office of the Spouse gave the keynote address.
In every corner of the world and in every corner of the Bahamas, midwives stand as beacons of hope, compassion, guiding mothers through the transformative journey of childbirth with skill, empathy, and unwavering dedication. And midwives serve as the guardians of maternal and newborn health, ensuring that every woman receives the care and the support that she deserves during pregnancy, childbirth, and the postnatal period. Midwives, because of how special they are, they provide a complete holistic care covering women's unique needs. I mean, they say every pregnancy is different. Well, midwives, they could give that holistic type of care that would cover all the unique needs of women throughout the reproductive cycle. I mean, they provide, could you imagine? Midwives provide gynecological examinations. I mean, it's mind blowing what midwives do. They provide contraceptive counseling, I think. Yes. They even probably suggest medication. I'm not sure if they can write prescriptions, but their work is so far reaching. And there's also there are a lot of help that pregnant ladies need at our clinics, at our hospital, like Dr. Darvel said. And midwives stand in the gap because for many reasons, and especially for part of this is climate control, because if some of the pregnant ladies don't have access to the hospital or to the clinics, the midwives can go directly to her. So this is one way, that personal touch that midwives give is why we need them. And in the absence of being able to have transportation, the mothers having transportation to go where they have to go, midwives, that also, I must add, will also reduce our carbon emissions, because every time you drive a car, you're letting out carbon emissions. So, that's one of the simple ways that midwives could help in controlling our carbon footprint, by just coming to you instead of you having to drive to go to where you need your care. So their skill and compassion allows them to connect with women from all walks of life. And midwives instill trust, dignity, and empowerment. We heard that word mentioned earlier. Empowerment through the childbirth process. Building that trust between midwives and that mother is the first step in the process of creating an empowered birth experience, as the midwife supports a woman through a self-directed birth experience. So you see why we need midwives. That empowerment that she gives to the mother by self-directing herself through her delivery, that's empowering the mother, as well as it also empowers the midwife. So we have a whole heap of empowerment going on here. This is what midwives do. This is how they contribute to empowering women during childbirth.
I'm Carissa Williamson, and this has been Your Government in Action, a proud presentation of Bahamas Information Services. Join us on Tuesday evenings, where we bring you highlights, coverage, and information as we continue to do what we do best, linking people and government.